Good morning, good morning. How are you doing this morning? Hope you're having a beautiful day. Things are starting well. Hang on, let's push that, pull that up there. Oh, look at that. Live at 8 a.m. We did it. Excellent. Well, welcome to my at-home yoga studio, where during this time of quarantine and things being closed and routines being off slightly, still trying to make time to do a little yoga every single day. And at least I go live 6 days a week. So 8 a.m. Tuesday yoga is what's happening right now. Happy hips class. Nice little gentle-ish style class. What do we got here today? Is that Doreen? Good morning. Welcome, Doreen. Way to be consistent since you've discovered me. It's been nice having you join in and join along. I'm just so proud of you. Way to go. So I'm going to sit on down here and enjoy my coffee and chat with you guys as we settle in and get started here. It is really bright this morning. I might need to adjust that. But I like it. I feel like I'm an angel with all the white around me. Ooh. Okay, sorry. My own little moment. Just let me be vain every once in a while. It's just who I am. So, if you're rolling out your mat or making some space for it, do what you gotta do. And if you want to start seated, you're welcome to start seated. If you want to start laying down, that's a beautiful option as well. If you want to start standing or sitting in a chair, it's your class, man. You can do exactly what you want to do. And then we'll take advantage and try to make the best of everything as it comes by. So, what did I want to chat with you guys about this morning? I'm drawing a blank. I had it all figured out. I should have written it down though. You know, when you go over something in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, it's a really good point. You should try to chat about that in the morning. So we'll just leave it there and maybe we'll come back to it as I finish the thought. I remember where to start, but I don't remember that end point. And so as you're sitting down or finding your opening position to be in, just any position where you can start to connect in with how you're feeling this morning. Maybe you start to scan on through, noticing what's really tight, noticing what's open and what feels good too. Don't forget to just focus on not just the shadow side of things, but you can notice what feels good too and be grateful for those things. Having that attitude of gratitude, the power of gratitude is pretty unreal. And really, not only does it change the world around you, but it changes you within so much if you just can flip to always having, okay, how can I be grateful? What am I grateful for in this moment? You walk into a new place. Who can I be grateful for? And you can always just start to see the value in circumstances and situations and people. Which is, I think, how we were created to be. But those are part of my own beliefs, so I won't force them on you. I'm noticing my low back is crazy tight. Must have slept a little weird on it, so we'll have to work that out together in this nice hips class. So as you're scanning in, wherever you found yourself, roll your shoulders back and down. And get ready to take that nice big inhale breath. Nice big exhale breath. Sort of shake everything off around you. Enjoy my at-home yoga studio. It's right next to the kitchen and another living room, which includes the morning news and a dishwasher being unloaded this morning. So sorry for all the extra noise, but as well as sorry not sorry things, because that's just going to challenge you to focus in on either what I'm saying or challenges your own expectations and distractions. So we'll just embrace it and go with it. I'm just a real human at home. I can't pause my whole life just to make this happen. So I do the very best I can. This is my offering this morning. I hope that you find it pleasing. So as we're connecting in, let's keep connecting with that breath. Notice as I started chatting about something else, did those shoulders start to hunch back up? So it's rolling back and down if they did, and extend the head nice and long and tall. At your own rhythm, take a giant inhale breath. Not just breathing into the lungs, but start to engage into that diaphragm area. And use that exhale, let it out. Notice when you exhale, do you breathe from the top down, kind of letting the air out And finishing off in the diaphragm, we're going to breathe out from the bottom up. There's really no right or wrong way to do that. Take a nice big breath in. Take that next exhale and notice where do you start to release first. Beautiful. And keep connecting in with that breath. Big old inhale. Big old exhale. And see if we can start to lengthen and slow down that breath a little bit more. So maybe you're just doing quick but still big inhales and exhales. And now let's add a little restriction. And start to notice that little pause that happens at the beginning of an inhale. And there's a little pause. And then there's an exhale. And there's a little pause. And then your breath continues to cycle. But oftentimes we get so focused on the inhale and the exhale that we forget to notice the pauses, or we don't think the pauses are important. I'm just going to adjust the lighting here. And those pauses are really important. And I think it's such a beautiful picture of yoga when we have and embrace those pauses. That is the need for things like these little pre-shavasana where we settle in. And the post-shavasana at the end of practice, we take time for that meditation and we reflect. And it's also a great metaphor for life. If you're just always go, 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 filling your life in with stuff or getting rid of stuff in your life, that inhale and exhale, you'll just be so exhausted. You need to take time to rest. I think that's really important. So there's my little life lesson for today. Notice the pause in your breath and let that be a reminder for you to do things that fill your bucket. So let's start to wake up the body nice and slow, a little wiggle into fingers and toes. Maybe you roll wrists and ankles, get some of those nice cracks and pops out. Let it feel nice, let it feel good. Bring your hands to heart center. Just press gently into the palms, just feeling your fingers really connect, your palms really connect. Not pressing too hard, but there's that little engagement through the arms, little squeeze of the shoulder blades, just really soft. And if you like to set an intention, go ahead and do so now. So even if you're lying on your back, you're still in this position, that's okay. And what brings you to your mat? What's your purpose for today's class? What are you hoping to get out of it or pour into it? Beautiful. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, side out. And if you're in a seated position, let's roll on back and down. I feel the need to start on my back this morning and work out this low back tension here. So, rolling down. I'm starting with my knees bent, mostly because I really need to. Oh, that low back is so tight. I even feel it just adjusting here. I've got cracks and pops happening. It's delightful. Take a nice inhale breath, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, feel that little engagement, pull that belly button in towards the core and feel that little tip of the pelvis as you kind of tuck the tailbone under. So it just kind of scooches in that low back and presses in a little bit more. Let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. That nice good morning stretch. Let it feel really nice, really good. Exhale, just drop the arms down, just relax, release. Take that nice big inhale breath, really reach up nice and tall, get as tall as possible. You might notice a little arch through the spine starting to happen. That's okay, really embrace it if you want. Reaching a little bit taller, start to feel the space happening between the ribs, through the underarms, all the way up through the arms. Beautiful, just lengthening stretch here. And exhale, release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And take that little gentle roll, rock and roll from side to side. A little massage over the low back. Maybe you notice it through the shoulders. Let it feel really good. Maybe you're just rolling a little bit from side to side. Maybe you're even rolling right onto one hip and the other. So nice. Excellent. All right, let's come to our stillness. Still hugging the knees in towards the body. Let's roll up into a tiny little ball. So even if you're just lifting your head up off slightly or really pulling onto the knees to try to pull them in a little more and squeezing the head and the shoulders up as high as you can. Just feel that tiny little ball. And then exhale, roll the head back down. And let's hold on to the backs of the knees. Send the legs up towards the ceiling. Coming into our waterfall pose. Ooh, I've got some sunshine on my toes. That feels so nice and warm. Hold it on, nice and easy. Maybe give those hamstrings a little rub, a little massage. Maybe notice how tight they are. Like, hello, hamstrings. Thanks for helping me stand up straight and tall. There's actually supposed to be tension in the back line of our body, so through the back line of our legs and across our back. Because imagine if those muscles were loosey-goosey, how on earth would we stand up straight? You need something nice and strong through the back, a little bit of tension there to have us be in that nice upright position. So it's okay if there's a little bit of tension, but yes, there is too much tension. Too much of a good thing. All right, let's bring some awareness into our feet and into our ankles. A little point, a little flex. Extending through the heels as you flex the feet, so as you bring the toes in towards the body. See if you can really push the heels up a little bit higher. Just notice how that deepens the stretch. And then as you point the toes, really try to push the toes up towards the ceiling and back behind you. So it's that up and back motion. You'll really feel that along the top line of the foot. Bring it to a nice little flex. You can do these nice and slow and really focus in on what's happening. Or you can go a little bit faster, working on lubricating and waking up that joint. The ankle. There's so many bones in our feet that are connected. They need a little love. All right, I'm going to switch around and do some circles with the feet. Just trying to draw giant circles with my big toes. So you'll notice there's probably a few little areas that get stuck where it would look like a 2-year-old drawing a circle, all wonky and wiggly. That is totally normal if you don't do these every single day. And although I try to have decent foot health, I don't do stuff like this every day. I know I should. I should do a lot of things though. I'm just human. Can't schedule absolutely everything I should be doing. So I release myself from that and I just drown in this. All right, circles the other way. Really good. Maybe you start to feel your hip flexors starting to warm up just simply from holding your legs up. I know I'm feeling it. I've released my legs just to use them a little bit more. You're welcome to do so as well. You can even tuck your hands under your sits bones. That feels really nice. And then give those legs a little bit of a shake. Real good. Extend those feet up. Imagine you were just standing on the ceiling. Let us go for a little walk this morning. Tiny little movements through the feet. If you want more, of course, you can take bigger movements to amp it up. Just really working through those hip flexors and just a touch into the lower core. If you want to do this with more core but not more hip flexors, bring your feet down at a bit of an angle. You can choose the angle. I find this 45-degree one to be the hardest. To be honest, even if you did this here, I still find that easier. Just a little motion. So wherever you want to bring your feet, and just a couple little steps. Keep pulling that belly button in towards the core though. Don't be pressing everything out to help stabilize. Bring everything in nice and tight, nice and strong. Excellent. And we'll keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, plant the feet, windshield wiper from side to side to release. Excellent. Love the windshield wiper. Adds in that little bit of a twist to get a little low back massage and releases hip flexors all at the same time. So it's a neat little movement back and forth. So good. I just love it. I just love so many yoga poses. I try to fit too many in. Keep it on tab here. Excellent. Let's find our stillness. And then hug the left knee in towards the chest. Just give it a nice little squeeze. And send a right leg long. We're not going to be here a super long time. Take a nice big inhale breath. Get a little taller. Exhale. See if you can relax through the shoulders. Start to relax through that hip a little bit. Hug that knee in just a touch more. Feel that gentle squeeze through that left side. Really, wherever you're feeling it will reveal where that tightness is. You might feel it in the IT band, kind of the sideline of the leg. You might feel it right in the little crevice that happens there, the hip flexor, or some of just the side muscles. You might feel it in the glute or even the low back. Lots of options. So good. Take that exhale and start to relax the left leg. Just bring it down, touching in towards the ground. Knee goes up. Bring that right knee in. Give it a nice big giant squeeze. And then you can send that left leg a little further, a little longer should you choose. Right leg gets a nice big squeeze in. Try to relax through those shoulders and see if you could soften through the leg. Just holding on with enough tension and to feel that sweet spot, to feel that little pull, and see if you can release, relaxing through. So good. Beautiful. Such a great little stretch. I don't know, I'm extra loving it this morning. Maybe I really needed this. Beautiful. Start to relax and gently let go of the leg. Bring the arms up overhead. We'll take one more of those good morning stretches this time with legs extended long. You can point through the toes. You can even interlace fingers and flip your palms up if you like that variation. Just kind of gets the shoulders a little bit differently. Take that inhale breath and really reach nice and tall and long. Exhale, relax down. We're going to make our way up to seated. So if you want to roll onto your side and come on up, or roll on up, however you want to get there. If you want to take a couple of rolls, that feels nice. Coming back to a good seated position, sneak in a little sip of coffee because it's the lifeblood this morning. Delicious. Beautiful. So let's warm up just a touch through those shoulders. I know I do these every morning, but they're just so good. So we'll take those inhales to reach up, exhales to pull down. It's such an easy way to warm up the shoulders and to start to warm up through the spine and getting a little mobility there. So taking those inhales and the exhales to pull down, and connecting movement with breath is also so beneficial for your brain. So we'll take one more here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it down. If there's another shoulder warm-up you would love to see instead of this one, let me know, and I'll throw it in. Might just add it in. Hands at heart center. Take a big inhale, get nice and tall. Take that exhale, engage the core. Nice and strong. Take that inhale, press the legs down. See if you can get a little taller. And on that exhale, let's start to twist towards the left, starting to rotate around. Using that exhale to go a little deeper. You can drop the hands down wherever they land. Take that inhale, press into lengthen first. Lots of times we kind of drop and shrug things as we bring the arms down. So that's why we lengthen, and then we exhale and we twist a little deeper. I really like just holding on the knee for the twist. You could leave it out front or even anchor it on the other leg should you prefer. But I'm a knee grabber, so it works good. Looking back behind you, feeling that nice rotation. See if you can get a little taller. See if you can maybe twist just a little deeper. Beautiful. Nice and slow. Let's exhale. Coming back towards center. Bring the hands to heart center. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage that core. I do that mostly to straighten through the low back area. Kind of puffs it out. Nice little cue to do all of that. Take a nice big inhale, and on that exhale, start to twist. Feeling that rotation through the spine, pressing maybe into the legs to help anchor and ground, going as far as you can with just your abdominal muscles first. And then you can drop the hands down. Maybe that right hand comes behind you like a second spine. We'll lengthen first, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. You can even break that into a bunch of tiny movements. And I've had one instructor in my life where he'd say, Twist an inch, inhale and lengthen, exhale, twist an inch, inhale and lengthen, and we would just break it into tiny little movements, almost like a watch ticking with the seconds going around the clock. It was the visual he gave us, so it was really neat. Really kind of helped me break down and feel each part of the vertebrae as you're twisting it going through. And take that one more breath, and on the exhale, let's release nice and slow, coming back towards center. Let's switch the feet, opposite foot in front or on top, or however you're sitting. Mix it up a little bit and start to be creative and work with that non-dominant side. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's inhale, lift the arms up. Interlace the thumbs, have palms facing forward. Maybe you give a little spirit fingers or jazz hands. We'll wiggle through the fingers. And then really reach up. Start to lengthen even here. And keep that back nice and flat. And just start to tip over towards one side. And tipping towards the left if you want to follow. So that sense, as we start to tip, we'll start to round through that, which really doesn't do anything wrong. But if you keep that openness, you start to work more through that side body, which is what we're going for here. So really reach those arms up a little bit more. And let's come all the way back up. Use that exhale, pull yourself in. Now switch the thumbs. So hold on, opposite thumb in front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage through that core. Pull those floating ribs back in. And staying nice and straight, tip on over towards the other side. And press the legs down to help stabilize. Feel that nice bit of opening through the side body, through the rib cage. Maybe you reach a little farther. And come on back up. Use that exhale. Hands to heart center. Give those shoulders a little break. Inhale, right back up they go. Just a quick break. Reach it up. And one more little side bend going towards the left. And drop that bottom arm down. Spin that right arm open. Beautiful. Maybe the gaze even goes upwards. I'm going to add a little pulse in towards this little move here. I like that because I feel that so much more through the ribs, through the low back. Don't forget to reach it out. Beautiful. Find your stillness just for a moment. See if you can soften and press into that bottom arm. Reach both arms up nice and tall and over towards the right. Bottom arm drops down. Pressing in. Take that little pulse if you want. Gaze goes up, opening up through that shoulder. Beautiful. So good. Press on in, come all the way up. Reach it up. And exhale, hands to heart. Making our way into our tabletop position. Coming into our all fours. So good. Excellent. So stacking wrists and shoulders, knees and hips. And take that nice inhale, start to look up, drop the belly down. Exhale, tuck the chin, start to round through that spine, coming into your cat-cow. You can really press into the hands, then push those shoulders up. If you want a little more, little inhales to look up. Press into those hands if you want a little more. Moving at your own pace, let this movement be connected to your breath. So you don't have to match me, even remotely. You can go really quick, you can go really slow. I tend to like mine extra slow and I savor every moment of it. So good. Take just a few more. And then we'll meet in that nice neutral position, nice flat back. Roll those shoulders back and down. Maybe bring your hands just a little bit wider. It'll actually making room for your body to drop down in between the shoulders. Just imagining all of that space. And it's almost like you're spinning the eyes of your elbows. I don't know what else to call this. And spinning them out, but you can technically do that motion without adjusting your shoulders at all. So just imagine rolling those shoulder blades back and down. And odds are the little eyes of your elbows will spin out. And feel how strong you are through these lats, through the sides. as well. Beautiful. Let's keep that nice engagement. Send right toes back, touch them down onto the mat. Roll that right hip down. So good. Let's start to inhale and lengthen. And get nice and tall. Exhale, pull that core in. Then float the foot up. Nice. So notice when you lifted the foot, did you open up through the hip? Are your toes pointing outwards or are they pointing down? There's really no wrong answer. We're going to play around with this. So maybe spin everything open, try to stack hip over hip. Have the toes point out towards the right. And then use that with control. Exhale. Try to lower that right hip down, bringing it totally neutral, but try to keep that right foot in the air. Toes pointing down. Maybe you take a little glance at them. Make sure they're pointing down. And let's spin it open. We'll take 3 of these. So spinning it open. If you want a little more, you can reach that right hand up. Finding a little balance in it. And then exhale, drop that hand down. Spin it down. Toes point down. Take a little moment, connect in. Then spin it open. Once you've found your balance, you can reach that right hand up. Extending nice and strong. Beautiful. And exhale. Drop the hand and roll that hip down. Beautiful. Bring a bend to that knee and send the foot up. Bring knee towards the right wrist. We'll take 3 little swings just of the leg here. And then kick it back up. Knee towards the wrist. Kick it up. Beautiful. Here's our last one. Then kick it up. Bring knee down. Take a little sway from side to side. Starting to feel the hips maybe starting to open up. You might have felt that more on the standing hip than on the hip, the right hip, more on the left hip. All right, let's find our stillness. Hands nice and open, head nice and long and tall, core nice and engaged. Left toes go back. Roll that right hip down. Keep that core nice and strong, float the foot up. Beautiful. Let's open up through that left side. Toes pointing out. Taking a moment, try to stabilize. Keep holding here. And if you want more, left hand can shoot up just for a quick little moment. Drop the hand down. Roll left hip down. Yeah, feel that on that right side. And shifting everything down. Keep that core nice and active. Take a little glance at the toes. Yeah, they're pointing down. And let's find that openness. Open it up. Beautiful. Maybe reach it up. Nice little gate pose here. Excellent. Drop the hand. Roll that left hip down. So good. Just becoming aware of how the body moves. Let's open it up, stacking maybe hip over hip. Reaching up. And if you want it, if not, you can do this with the hand down. Flex the foot, extend through the heel. Drop hand, nice and slow. Roll that left hip down. Extend the head nice and long, engage that core. Bring a bend to that left knee. Foot kicks upwards. And knee towards wrist, elbow anywhere on that left arm. And kick it back up. And then kick it through, knee to wrist. Last one here. Knee to wrist, beautiful. Kick it all the way back up. And drop the knee down. Take that nice sway from side to side. Releasing through the hips. Beautiful. Excellent. Find your stillness. Bring the knees nice and wide. And sit back. Take your little child's pose. Nice little break. It'll help release and open those hips. If you bring your knees nice and wide, you can reach those arms forward and drop the head down. Letting it feel good. Beautiful. Connecting in with that breath. Maybe remembering that intention you set at the beginning of class. Excellent. So nice, so good. This is a great recovery and restorative posture. But for many people, they find it really hard on your knees. And so if that's the case, You can always just come up a little bit higher. That'll make it so your knees just simply aren't bending as much and there's not as much weight pressing in towards the feet. So you can always do that puppy pose where you keep the hips right over the knees and just walk the arms a little bit more forward and drop the head down. That's a great alternative. Or you can do it on your back. Just laying on your back and hugging the knees in towards the body. Kind of shifts things around, but that's okay. It still works and feels good. All right, let's start to press into those hands. Come on back up. We're gonna make our way up to standing, so we'll do so through a downward dog. We'll tuck the toes under. Press nice and long, get a nice flat back first. Pressing into all parts of the hands, so you can squeeze the fingers in towards the mat. Then lift the hips when you're ready by pressing in towards the feet. Take a little moment, pedal it out. It's a great way to get a nice calf stretch here. Keep pressing in towards the hands. So good. Let's look towards the front of the mat. Hop, step, jump, and tiptoe. Maybe take a couple little baby steps into a nice forward fold. Drop the head, let it hang heavy, give it a little shake no, release any tension. And notice here, I have my knees bent. There's no expectation that you have straight legs here. Usually I can hang out with the nice straight legs, but my low back is so tight, it feels so much better. I'm actually gonna bend my knees a little more. Oh yeah, that's golden. So if you grew up, someone always saying straight legs, straight knees, don't bend your knees, point your toes, all of that, I release you from that. Bend your knees, let it feel great. All right, let's inhale, halfway lift. Roll our shoulders back and down. Extend the head nice and long and tall. Gentle bend through the knees, sink the hips down. Coming up through our chair pose. If you want, you can sweep those arms up, press into the feet all the way up to standing, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. So good, so good. I want to play around with just a couple standing poses to show you how you can get into your hips if you just have a couple moments standing and don't want to roll on back and down and explore all of the other poses you might be becoming more familiar with. And so we'll just start out real big here. I'm going to step my right foot back, pointing my toes towards the long edge of the mat. And then just shift so both toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Bring hands onto the hips, roll the shoulders back and down, and try to tuck the elbows back behind you. Notice how that lifts through the heart. Beautiful. A different way of thinking of the roll your shoulders back and down is imagine your shoulder blades and imagine trying to tuck them into your opposite back pocket. Oh, feel how that feels really cool. Nice flat back there. It's really neat. And then tucking the elbows opens up through the heart, through the collarbone. Take an inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, engage the core, start to press into the outer lines of the legs. And so notice, are you just pressing in with your big toes? And can you press into the pinky edge of the feet as well? Next, then we'll come into our nice standing wide-legged forward fold. So your hands are and just kind of shifting a little bit more towards the back. Heart is nice and lifted, protecting that low back, starting to bow it down. Keep a nice flat back here. Really be mindful of your low back. And then come down to where you feel that pull on the legs where you want to. You can rest the hands on the legs. Even if you have a little table or a chair in front of you, sometimes that feels really good just to get that little bit of feedback. You can use a block. As you open up, maybe you start to hinge from those hips, being able to fold down a little bit farther, maybe using that block to reach down from the ground or being able to connect the hands with the ground. I'm just starting to add a little bit of a rock into heels and toes. So I'm not lifting my feet up off the ground. I'm just starting to bring that little bit of movement, sending my sits bones and my torso a little bit farther back. And then walking my hands a little bit more forward. And just gently moving in. It's kind of a nice way to pulse this out. This can work in your hamstrings, but is more so designed to work in those inner thighs. And so because of that, it really doesn't matter how far apart your legs are. you will be able to get almost the same stretch, whether the legs are super wide or super low. So walk your feet out a little bit and see if that actually changed anything. It might have intensified something ever so slightly. And really, it's so fun if you're in like a yoga studio class, seeing all these people with their legs like on the edges of their mat. And then if you notice, with your legs being farther apart, you're closer towards the ground. So if you've ever noticed people who can fold and touch their head down and then kick up into headstand, or fun little tripods and stuff like that, they're so close to the ground with their legs really far. If you can comfortably get your head down onto the ground, and you're looking for more of a challenge, heel toe your feet closer together. Notice how your head comes up a little bit farther. You can still get a beautiful stretch through the back line of the body and through the inner line of the legs. It's all about how you're pressing in towards the feet. But now your head's farther, so you've got to learn how to lengthen those back line muscles to be able to get your head down and do all your tripod craziness. Hopefully that makes sense. Excellent. All right. Well, let's start to come up halfway. I don't know how far you guys are down. So we'll start with just halfway. I'm going to add a gentle bend to the knees, resting my elbows on my legs. Head is roughly in line with my heart. It's no longer tipping down, just taking a moment to come up nice and safely. I guess we might have had our head dangling for a while as we explored foot position. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to press my hands now into my knees, pressing into the feet, knees still bent, starting to drop the hips down, head will come up, pressing into the legs. Hang on, I just need to come just a touch wider. There we go. Beautiful. So I've got a bend to my knees. Roll your shoulders back and down. Don't let them hunch up by the ears. Find that length. And this is kind of like a half goddess pose. So if you need to spin your feet out, your toes out a little bit more, if that feels better on you, that feels good. And we're going to just come into a little dancing goddess. So straightening a little bit through one leg and the next. Playing around with a little bit of openness. Maybe really straighten through one leg. You can always just keep a soft bend to it. Listen to your body, listen to your knees. You'll feel that little rotation. There's lots of external rotation in the hips. Wiggling back and forth. So good. Let's find our stillness. And let's start to bring those shoulders over the hips. And so in a sense, you're opening up through the knees, pressing the pelvis forward. Hands can hang out just on the legs. If you want a little more, you can reach them out, reach them up, or come into that traditional goddess pose. Into cactus arms, palms forward, strong through the fingers. Sit down a little more, and sitting into this super open chair almost, like you're riding a giant fat horse, trotting along. Excellent. So reach those arms back out. Bring the hands onto the hips and press up, straighten the legs. Give those legs a nice little break. Inhale, reach it up. And coming into our star pose, lift through the heart. So good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe you now want to point the toes towards the long edge of the mat. Bring the hands back behind you. Interlacing them, lift the heart. And exhale, start to fold forward. And coming back down into a nice little wide-legged forward fold. Keep pressing into the feet. Keep lengthening through the head so you have a nice flat back here. If you want a little more, you can start to lift the hands up off the back. Getting a nice little shoulder stretch. Beautiful. Holding here for just a nice breath. Big inhale. Nice exhale. Lower those hands back down. Release the hands, maybe just holding on to the legs. Knees, ankles, big toe, hands on the ground. Whatever works best for you. And then let's walk. If you've got your hands on your legs, and just start to add that little bend in. Walking your hands towards the right Bend through that right knee, left leg, and nice and straight, really feeling into that inner line. So even if your hands are up a little bit higher, or you're up like this, but this time toes are pointing forward. Beautiful. And start to come into the other side. So maybe you walk your hands across the floor, just nice and controlled, straightening through one leg and bending through the other. Beautiful. Wherever you're at, maybe you're up super high. Just working on this inner thigh, straightening through the leg. If you're not feeling anything, push that hip more towards the left. That'll lengthen through the inner line. Beautiful. Let's come back towards center. Both legs nice and straight, but maybe a gentle bend to the knees or that lifting of the kneecaps. Beautiful. So good. Moving through. Let's come up halfway. Hands maybe just above the knees. Roll those shoulders back and down. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Start to bring that head up a little bit more. Excellent. So I want to just kind of work with a little bit of a twist here. So I'm just going to drop shoulder down and look. So dropping my right shoulder down, looking towards the left. If you want to mirror me, feeling that little twist through. And if you want a little more, right hand starts to reach up. No, left hand would reach up, sorry. Getting a little deeper. If you want a little more, you can bring the elbow down onto the knee. Beautiful. I like the elbow on the knee because it kind of forces that knee open a little bit more. You can even just press gently with the hand. Holding here. Nice big inhale. And a full exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, drop that arm back down. And switch over to the other side. So maybe you plant the knee or the elbow right above. Coming into your twist. Hand can even hang out on the hip. Feeling that openness through the hip. Reach the hand up. So good. Finding that edge where it maybe gets a little bit uncomfortable. Take that big inhale. And an exhale. One more full breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Lower it back down. Maybe you plant both elbows or you got both hands. Roll those shoulders back and down. Press the head up a little higher. Straighten through the legs. Using the strength of the legs. Take a nice big reach up. Nice and tall. And exhale. Step towards the top of your mat. I'm going to stay facing you. Start to become aware of the feet. Standing in a nice, strong mountain pose. So squeezing the toes in towards the mat. Feeling the heels press down, activating into the arches. And by imagining your knees as little dials, and you're going to just kind of spin them outwards. Feel how that activates the sidelines of the legs. Maybe you adjust your stance. Maybe you need a little wider, a little closer together. Find what works best for you. Little tuck of the tailbone, tucking it under, pulling that belly button in, lengthening through the spine. Shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. And maybe you get a little bit taller by lifting the head up or by pressing into the feet to get a little bit taller. Keep those ribs tucked in though. Beautiful. This is our mountain pose. Feeling all that strength. Feeling nice and rounded. Imagine if you did everything standing in this pose. So nice and strong. Brushing your teeth, getting dinner ready, chopping stuff, washing dishes, doing laundry. That would be so healthy for your pelvis, for your spine, for your legs. Just think about it. See if you can maybe add one of those in. Maybe tonight you try brushing your teeth in a mountain pose. So good. Let's start to shift the weight towards our left foot. Right foot starts to pop up. Maybe you just come up on toes. Find something you can focus in on as we get ready to come into our nice little balance pose. Once you found your spot, bring that right knee up and floating it in the air. And just taking a moment. Maybe you imagine you're holding on to a railing or something. It's a great little visual to help. Beautiful. Let's open up. that right knee and plant the foot anywhere along the leg. So coming into your tree pose, you can be down on the ankle, you can even have a toe still on the ground. If you're really struggling with balance today, you can be anywhere you want, maybe with a helping hand, you really kind of tuck it in. Keep imagining that right knee drawing open though. Feel all of that openness through the hip. But your tree pose really work with the hips today. So option is to keep your hands on your hips. Ooh. Or bring your arms up, whatever you need to help balance. Maybe you try to bring your arms out. Maybe they go up ahead. My drishti point was something that was moving, so that wasn't very helpful. So standing nice and strong, keep pressing into that left standing leg. Feel that leg be nice and active. Keep trying to spin that right knee open a little more and finding all of that length. Beautiful. So good. All right, let's relax the arms. Unstick the foot. Bring the knee back towards center and touch that right foot back down. Maybe you kind of march it out or step it out. To let it feel good. Notice the difference between one side and the next. Excellent. Standing nice and tall and strong. And getting into that nice strong mountain pose. I'm not going to cue everything this time, but grounded through the feet. Dial the knees open. Shoulders back and down. Palms forward and nice and tall. Beautiful. Start to shift the weight towards that right foot. Coming up onto those left toes. Find your point of focus. And when you're ready, float that left leg up. Beautiful. Finding your strength here. Finding that pose. And then opening the knee open. Keep those shoulders facing forward. Lots of times we'll spin to the left just to find that openness. So keep it all forward. And then plant that foot in. Wherever works for you today. Maybe it's up high, maybe it's down low, maybe it's in the middle. Too slow. Yeah, I could have not. All right, imagine that knee really opening up, feeling that twist and that openness through the hips. Keep lifting through the heart. Right leg is nice and strong. Beautiful. Maybe start to bring your arms up. Playing around with your tree. It's your branches, grow your branches, however you feel like expressing them today. So good. Beautiful. Keep pressing into that standing leg and keep noticing the shoulders. Are they starting to spin? And can you kind of keep twisting them back towards the right and keeping them square to the front in line with the toes. So it's not just twisting from the ankle. We're feeling it all in the hip. Beautiful. Let's drop those hands down. And unstick the foot. Bring that knee forward. And with control, step it down. Take a little moment, march it out. Let it feel good. Beautiful. Let's come back to standing. Got one more little standing one for us here. Finding that mountain pose. Knees dial out. We're nice and tall. So good. That shift our weight towards the right foot. And left foot starts to come up. Toes just come up. And just kick the foot forward. So when you're ready, find your balance. Right toes are just hanging out forward. You can point and flex through the foot a little bit. Warming up through that ankle. And find a nice and neutral foot. Doesn't really have to be doing either one. We're going to draw a nice big circle with this left foot. So maybe it starts like a medium circle, bringing it up and down, keeping that leg straight. And then as you start to do them, it gets a little bit bigger. So you're using hip flexor and adductor as you bring it out, abductor as you bring it in, or one of those. I always get them mixed up. Circles can be as big as you want or as small as you want. I'm no ballerina. So this might not be my most graceful pose, but it's a good one to work through it. If you want to make it easier, you can bring a bend through the knee and make knee circles. Beautiful. All right, let's stop and go the other way. And coming through, maybe you're doing the knee circles, maybe you add in a few straight legs. Beautiful. One more nice big circle. And drop the foot down. Come back towards neutral. You can kind of shake it out, dance it out. This is my white girl dancing. This is straight up how it happens. Every dance party. I'm super fun, what can I say? All right, strong mountain pose. Back to yoga, Janelle. No, we're dancing in class. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, nice and strong. Dial those knees out, activate into those sidelines. And shift the weight towards that right side. And the left foot starts to pop up. Find that drishti point of focus. And just extend the foot nice and long. Standing here with strength. And let's start to do some little circles. Some medium circles. You can bend the knee at any point to make it easier. Your circles can just stay right in front of you, but you are welcome to bring them kind of out towards the side. Exploring that full range of motion of the hip. Using those hip flexors. Staying nice and strong on that right standing leg. Beautiful. All right, let's go the other way. Take 5 or 6 big circles or little circles going the other way. Excellent. One more. Whew, so good. Drop that foot back down, shake it out. Great job. That was really active hip work. Let's do some more passive hip work. Let's go stretch it out and relax a little bit. So we've got a journey on down to our mats. Let's inhale, reach up nice and tall, find that length. Exhale, bow out forward into a forward fold, protecting that low back. You can bend the knees. Beautiful. Take a nice big inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees so you can plant the hands, take that nice big step back into a downward dog, pressing into those hands. So good. Drop the knees nice and wide. Let's take a little child's pose or a little puppy's pose. And just starting to feel the body melt down. And connecting with the breath. Starting to notice into the body, maybe noticing the temperature of the body, the temperature of the breath. Beautiful. One more nice big inhale. Use that exhale, soften. Let go of any of that tension. Beautiful. Another nice big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Then ever so slowly start to press into those hands to come up. And make your way into a reclined position. So rolling down onto the mats. Keep your knees bent and plant your feet. Oh, that sunshine is beautiful. I hope you have sunshine where you're at, in the room you're in. Take an inhale breath, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, press that low back in, and you adjust, find that little tip of the pelvis. And then heel toe the feet to touch, and let the knees fall open, bringing the soles of the feet together. Nice little reclined butterfly. You can use the legs, or make little fists kind of right on the edges, and to help support should you need, or you can use blocks. We won't be here too crazy long, but I do like to be here long enough to really kind of like let gravity settle in, weighing the legs down, feeling that openness through the hips. Take a nice big inhale breath, breathing in nice and strong, breathing into that diaphragm. Press the belly button outwards. And exhale. Draw everything in, see if you can soften. Take one more of those nice big inhales, really pressing the belly button out. Breathing in, giant, and then exhale. Soften. Notice if you have palms facing down, just try spinning the palms facing up. Feel that rolling of the shoulder blades back and down. Feel that little openness that's created through the collarbone. Beautiful. We spend so much time either sleeping on our sides or even on our fronts. That closes that collarbone area. And then every time we're hunching, whether you're driving or on your phone or seated in a chair and those shoulders fall down and inwards, it really closes off that collarbone space. And actually, we have lots of muscles through the front line of our body, like in our pecs and in our shoulders. And if they're always in that rounded forward position, they start to shrink. So we lose some of the length of them there. So if rolling your shoulders back and down feels really intense for you, you might be spending a lot of time hunched forward. So maybe just being mindful of that, taking a moment or even setting an alarm on your phone, like every hour, to check in with your posture, might be a good idea, because that openness is what allows you to take a nice big breath. All right, at the end of that next exhale, nice and slowly, let's start to bring those knees in, planting the feet back down, and start to heel toe the feet nice and wide. We'll get a little internal rotation. Maybe they're back distance apart, maybe they're less than that, that's okay. And just gently let the knees fall inward. Mine don't come to touch, like I have no expectation that you force your legs together, but it's just your feet go wider, your knees fall inward, and then that rotates this femur bone, that's the biggest bone in our body, rotates it inwards, gives us that little internal rotation at the hip socket. So we've done a decent amount of external. So I find it really important to add a little internal. If this is killer on your knees, if you're like, Janelle, what the heck is wrong with this? There is, because our knees are a hinge joint, and when the knees fall inward, there is a little bit of torque that happens there. And so if you would prefer, you could achieve the exact same thing by extending the legs long and making sure that you remember that your femur is connected to your knees, connected to your shins, connected to your ankles, and bring the big toes inward. So you're trying to move the entirety of the leg. It's not just an ankle move to bring big toes to touch. So it's still inward rotation there. So that's a more gentle version on the knees. But I find lots of people arch through the back when we do it this way. So try to keep that low back pressing in, which naturally happens when we bend the knees. So whichever variation you prefer, ideally the goal is just inward rotation of the hip. So however you want to get there, I approve. It's about the journey. I'll tell you the destination, and you can explore the journey for this one. Excellent. Connecting in, take one more nice big inhale. Take that big exhale. Maybe sigh it out. And nice and slowly start to heel toe the feet back in, or bring the feet back up and into this nice neutral position where the feet are hip distance apart. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw that belly button in. And press into the feet, lifting the hips up off the ground. This is just creating some openness along the front line of the body, giving those hip flexors a nice stretch. Keep pressing into the feet, lift those hips up a little higher, maybe even give the glutes a little squeeze. Finding that extra openness. This is all about front and body. You want to reach your hands down towards your feet. No, they don't have to touch. It's just creating that pull that opens up through that collarbone. And exhale, roll down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Really move slowly as you lower down. So good. It's one of my favorites. Nice little massage for those muscles that run along the spine. Beautiful. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. I'm just taking a nice little counter pose here. So notice how this is our reclined child's pose. Same kind of thing happening. Knees can be together, knees can be open. Your choice. Let's just finish off with a little twist, helping reset the spine. So reach those arms out nice and long, coming into that nice T position. Bring the knees over the hips and drop them down towards, doesn't matter which direction, I'm going down towards the left. We'll do both sides. It ultimately doesn't matter. Gaze can go opposite direction of the legs. And hand can just rest on top of the legs if you want to just add a little weight. Just deepening into the twist a little more. Big breath in. Maybe even side out, let it go. One more nice big inhale. And exhale. Turn that head back to neutral. Release the legs. And slowly start to bring the legs all the way up and drop them over towards the opposite side. Knees can go opposite of the legs. You want to complete that twist going all the way through the neck, all the way around the spine. Hand can come on top of the legs, just adding a little bit of weight in. So good. Connecting in, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, see if you can soften. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. And slowly start to return the head to neutral. Releasing, bringing the legs back up, hugging the knees in towards the chest, or reaching through the knees for the feet, coming into that nice little happy baby. Feet go up towards the ceiling, knees draw in towards the body. Taking a little moment to explore a little freestyle. What pose or movement do you need before you settle into your Shavasana? Playing around with it. Let it be true to you, let it be creative. Or if you're just ready for Shavasana, that's a great option too. Just love to give the option of a freestyle. Because there's no way I can completely read your mind and know exactly what you need in every class. So I give you a part of that responsibility to find what you need, then to be brave and daring and to take it. So here's your time at the end of class to fulfill whatever you might need to. And when you're ready, settling in to this corpse pose, this final pose. The traditional one is legs extended long, letting the feet fall open. Arms alongside the body, lengthening through the spine, setting the crown of the head a little bit, nice little tuck in the chin, and the whole body relaxes. Today I modified, I've been doing what I call boss arms, interlacing the hands behind the head. Just feeling a little openness through the shoulders. Feels so good. And we'll take 3 big inhale breaths that exhale to a sigh. So getting ready, breathing in nice and deep, breathing into that diaphragm. Exhale, let it out. Full exhale. Nice big inhale. Filling the lungs, filling the diaphragm, and nice and slow, let the air out. Really pressing that extra bit of air out. And one more nice big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And this is where I will leave you today to take all the time you need for your final Shavasana. Maybe you scan through the body, just checking in with how you're feeling after a little movement. Checking in with some of those shadow places. Can you turn them into little areas of gratitude for the progress they've made? Maybe you reflect on that intention you set at the beginning of class. Whatever it is, I encourage you to take 7 to 10 breaths worth of time, just simply enjoying the peace that you've created within, scanning through the body, and connecting in with yourself, becoming comfortable with your own company. I will roll up to seated to say goodbye. So good. And I thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I pray that you find joy through every moment and that you are always blessed. Namaste. Beautiful.